as Luke goes into the back.
Yes!
Going very low. No flicker. A boy with a good splash of damage. Picking one knock up, and I'm offended. Voloisky picks up the kill too late though. Now the baptism and it's CW with the blazing duet to pick it up.
20 minutes. This is the total amount of minutes from the last encounter of both of these teams when
Boy,
compared
being captured right here because with all the crowd control, the heavy spin, the
into the land of dawn, where black, ladies and gentlemen, finally we get to see a sneak peek as to what already elapsed here in the first 40 seconds of the game.
Here it is, the land of dawn. 46 seconds in already. Anything interesting in the emblem department? Oh, wow. An early win for Marky on this winning matchup.
Look at something interesting. I think the Purify on CW is almost a given at this point. But San's going with the flicker. This is his signature style. He's on an immobile mage, but he likes making those flashy plays. He likes going for the Mythic Gush and then flickering forwards. That's his style. But look at Voloisky, already targeted by ONIC as always.
A good stun over. It's not a Voloisky game without 2 deaths at the minimal. A boy prevents that from happening, and ONIC will be able to get control over the enemy jungle.
I can see a lot of emphasis here in the rotations towards the gold lane. Why do you think this is?
Because the gold lane is just so important. Marky is one of the main win conditions, and in the previous few crazy series he's been averaging like 2 or 3 deaths a game. In a game that can trail all the way to like 20 minutes gold laner duel.
But in the early game, is it a carry or a Claude winning that matchup?
I have to say, I think the carry will win it, especially in an all-in. If you can force the Claude, especially on a Purify, to just engage in that fight, it's going to be dangerous for Keyboy.
Good knockup by Nile, forcing that flicker out. ONIC versus Geek. It's a 3v4 right now, but it's a heavy spin now, pinning them down, and it should be a free red trace now. Picks it up. Below him, talking about as Luke goes into the back.
Yes!
Going very low. No flicker. A boy with a good splash of damage, picking one up, and now they're caught in the midst of ONIC. Kyrie and Boots will pin a boy down to secure another. It's 2 kills traded in for 1 kill and a neutral objective. Meanwhile, up top, blazing direct. Marky taking it very low under the turret, and CW takes a win.
Man, that's aggressive plays from both teams, but then we see it again.
In that regard, back to the game though. With that being said, oh, wait a minute. Okay, some damage being put on to a boy here in the mid lane. But with Kyrie and Nile, what's the game plan for ONIC? Because earlier on, Mirko mentioned that when they go in for neutral objectives, Nile on the Akai surely has a little bit of an advantage because of that heavy spin.
I think they go straight for the neutral objective contest without fighting. Nile can definitely come out ahead. But with ONIC having Kyrie in quote-unquote combo with Boots, that's a lot of damage that I think most people won't really expect coming in from the Fredrin. Because you're so used to seeing him doing damage without the addition of that physical defense shred. So ONIC, I think, has to find catches, but now Keyboy.
Good baptism by both, but now it's a knockup, and I'm offended. Voloisky picks up the kill to equalize the kill stat in the 3rd minute of the game. ONIC still.
This means that now Geek needs to be a bit more careful in their pathing and where they're trying to cross to try and find pickups.
That's some good poke, man. A Mystic Gush and a taunt from Kyrie to lock them down just for a bit. Nile with a heavy spin, a bit late though. Now the baptism and it's CW with the blazing duet to pick it up. Beloy running away. I'm offended, connecting on to CW, but he has a BMI placed defensively. Meanwhile, Keyboy has to flicker out, but Marky follows through as well. Holy baptism, one more shot, but jumps in onto Luke. Now dealing some damage as Luke jumps in as well. It's just a quick knockout strike as he clears the mid lane to provide a boy with some assistance.
Now that was initiated preferably from Geek Fam, and that's what we were talking about in terms of neutral objective take, right? Because flat out, it feels like Nile has a little bit more of an advantage than Kyrie, but this is the results that we're given. ONIC, they have been able to make things messy, they've been able to make things a little bit more in favor of them, and now Kyrie is actually a level ahead, and Nile just secured that level 8.
So what's important to note here is it's the golden advantage. You see action in the EXP as well. ONIC trying to use that movement speed, try and gank as many lanes, swing it in their favor. But for Geek Fam, I think the main issue here is Nile is the main front line, but also the main contestant for the neutral objective. We're seeing this trend where the Akai moves forward, has the heavy spin, but is going to be forced to burn it out or even get picked off before the objective is even low enough to contest. Geek Fam must find a way to try and get in that zone without really sacrificing too much.
For this particular game. Here it is. Are they going to go for something here? It turns out they won't.
Resource spent 18 seconds before the turtle spawns.
Without the flicker available, it's going to be a bit difficult for Boost to find ways to get in there or be aggressive enough without a way out. But ONIC, they're putting their attention on the top side, putting Kibo there, perhaps to trap Luke. Might just work out, but it's a Paquito on a sprint, on a cooldown. But the Quantum Charge here can allow him to move a lot faster, and everyone's just parading away down to the turtle pit.
Ooh, an aggressive heavy spin. That is a very costly mistake if it doesn't work out. Boost gets brought back to the team. The Mystic Gush stolen away. A boy now melting him down. Now cancel out with Mystic Gush and the Blazing Duet to the back line. And it's even a taunt. A big one for ONIC. Kyrie picks up the double, but Niall picks up the turtle. Now it's Marky in the bush, getting out. Luke trying to run away, but Kyrie stops that dash from happening. Able to just get out from a different wave. And it's Geek Fam with, Niall almost just assassinating CW there in the mid lane.
That was nearly a worth it trade, 2-2 if they were able to get that pick onto CW. But face value is it was a 2-1 plus Geek Fam was still able to secure the turtle. This was Niall a level below of Kyrie.
That's the Akai power, but it's also because the ONIC was focusing more
Of MLBB in Indonesia right now, and this is what you're watching.
Yeah, you're right. Everyone is just, they understand the stakes. They understand. Both teams, ONIC want to keep their kingdom going. They want to keep their dynasty alive. But here, Geek, they're looking to threaten that. But ONIC, at this point, 8 minutes in, still a 1K gold lead.
Rashi, it almost feels like the 1,000 gold lead in these matches, even yesterday, feels like not a gold lead. Almost every time you have a gold lead, you're going to lose it.
I think the execution really evens it out. In these games, in this matchup especially, if you don't have a gold lead and I want to brag about it, I think it has to be at least 1.5 to 2K gold. Ooh, CW though taken very low, but with the flash of the Oasis completed, Keyboy is going to be such a nuisance to the burst heavy, but always going to be around.
A boy just got picked off. That's a mega kill for Kyrie. 4th kill in this game, and it's Sans who provided that damage. ONIC are going straight for the Lord, and Geekfam might not be able to contest for this, but they're looking for a CW. No, Purify, but is able to escape with the BMI right now. The Holy Baptism connects onto Valoy. CW jumps back, dealing a bit more damage. Sans with the burn. That's the glowing wand dealing the damage, but it's not enough. Marky put some damage back. Now it's Niall in the midst against Kyrie. Pops in a heavy spin right now, but the Lord is not low enough. They're looking for it. They're looking to burst it down. Niall will fall before he even can go for that retry battle, and it's Kyrie who secures it with the retry.
That's a 2,400 gold lead instantly secured by ONIC in the 9th minute of the game. Beautifully executed, and the cool thing about this particular game is this is Keyboy ONIC, a Rafaela of all heroes. You wouldn't say that this is particularly adjacent to his style, to his identity, and yet he's still really good at the cover, and he's also really good at the initiation.
That's the crazy part. I think ONIC knows that Geekfam is expecting the crazy Keyboy plays. He's playing a Rafaela, and he's counter-engaging. Every time Niall comes in with a heavy spin, he gets Holy Blessinged. And then Luke as well earlier. Seems like ONIC are just playing reactively, trying to make sure that Geekfam are the ones overextending to try and secure the neutral objective, like we saw earlier. But without the right scouting, without the right intelligence, they can't really get in the right moments, and ONIC is baiting them using that fact.
And it was just so perfectly timed, right? Even ONIC was able to build, feels still like a stalemate, and yet just that entire momentum shifted into the hands of the Sky Kings, the Yellow Porcupines, and one by one, these turrets are going to fall from Geekfam.
Ooh, Luke's dealing a good amount of damage, but CW is dealing more. They even commit the Mystic Gush, a bit of overkill, but when you have a 5,000 gold lead, you can afford it. Valoy is offended. He brings Keyboy back with the healing from that photo, and the Holy Healing grants him all the HP back to get the trade back, turn it around onto Valoy.
2-0.
That was crazy.
It doesn't appear that anyone can actually dive into the back line and cut the range that ONIC has short because of that board. Whose job is it to go to the back line, and how do they do it?
I think Luke definitely is the main contender, but actually able to equalize.
They're really just forced to turtle in their own base. There's not much they can even do in their own jungle here. Niall has to walk up and open it up for the team. And by doing that, he's already risking his life. He's a level below of Kyrie. Sure, more neutral objectives so far, but ONIC have more structures. They can play the map, they can poke. Geekfam and Beloyski going for that signature game-changing play. Not too sure if that will work out for them here, as they have gone to the complete opposite side of where ONIC are residing in.
They don't see him. Sans knows what they're doing. Look at the way that ONIC have actually responded to that, despite them in the unknown.
Oh, what an insight from Sans there, but now Kyrie tries to capitalize on it.
That's a big taunt onto Beloyski. CW with some follow-up there, and a Mystic Gush just melts him away. Luke is forced to pop the sprint defensively, and it's all ONIC in the 13th minute of the game. CW blazing duet to the front, dodging everything, and now onto Marquet. CW in a 1v3 forces the heavy spin, and a boy gets executed by Gila Sans.
Obliterated. This is just a different level coming from ONIC here in game number 1 of this best of 7 series. And even though we see on the skill board 411, look at all the kills that were taken by Geek Fam. It's only onto Boots, it's only onto Keyboy. Sans and CW, the two anchors of damage coming in from the Yellow Porcupines, still remain untouched at this point of the game.
And that's with Sans just flickering aggressively yet again in the previous fight. Look at the movement and the predictions here, but Beloyski with the conceal, Wolf of Boots.
Good pickup onto Boots. The fadeaway should kill him, and yes, it does. That's a kill over to Marquis. Something they desperately need was a glimpse of hope, and that's a glimpse of brilliance that they just got.
Now here it is.
So Marquis will be a bit more safe, but he needs to still be careful as Beloy gets taken out.
Heck, a defensive item for Marquis. What about Beloyski? Oh my god, it's Niall finding the back, but it's the Holy Baptism to cancel it out. CW! Once again with a blazing duet, just takes them out in the back. And the executor will never be CW. It will be Keyboy and Sans. And now,
Luke?
even one more. Keyboy flickering forward, basic attacking. Luke able to escape, but Keyboy is the executioner. Sans again with a Mystic Gush and a stun onto Niall. Kyrie dashing forward, the base wide open. In the 14th minute of the game, that's a 2-man stun. That's an Appraiser's Wrath, and it's CW who is unstoppable. The mid-waves crashing in. Beloyski looking for a miracle play. CW onto the base. The Baptism connecting. No minions right now. They have cleared it, but Beloy falls once again. It's Marquis caught in the laser beam. And it's ONIC dismantling, deteriorating.
They see the Akai somewhere else, they just take over the jungle. And what it does is that it takes away